Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back to my channel, Mr. Mahmoud Helmi channel. Today, inshallah, we will study and discuss the poem F for grade 9 or prep 3. This is the first unit for the first term. The title is F. It was written by an Indian poet, Rudyard Kipling. We will know something or have some information about the poet first before we start the poem itself. Rudyard Kipling was born in Bombay in India. He was educated in England. He worked as a journalist, wrote a few good simple poems and short stories. In his poems, he tries to help the Indians and give them some advice. He was awarded the Nobel Prize. That was Rudyard Kipling. If this poem is didactic, what do you mean by the word didactic? It means it teaches a lesson. The father teaches his son how to be perfect. If you are patient, if you don't give up hopes, if you are lenient, if you are tolerant, if you are brave, if you have self-confidence, if you are able to face failure, you will be a man. These are the values that are mentioned and the poet dealt with in his poem. We will have a very quick view of the main idea of the poem. A father advises his son to prepare himself to face life with its good and bad sides. If the son follows his father's advice, he will own the world and everything in it. Moreover, he will be a man in the full sense of the word. That's the main idea of the poem. Now we will read the first stanza. As you know that the poem consists of 4 stanzas. Each stanza is about 8 verses or 8 lines. First stanza. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired of waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor walk too wise. That's the first stanza. Let's see the vocabulary. Keep your head means be calm and stable. Lose your head means lose your temper. Allowance here means excuse or find an excuse. Deal with lies, be a liar. Don't give away to hating, don't hate others. Paraphrasing the first stanza or paraphrasing in general is very important, is one, and it will be one of the main questions that you will have in your exam, to paraphrase the whole stanza, or you may be asked to paraphrase some lines of the stanza. In this poem, the poet is advising his son. He's teaching him how to face life, which is full of good and evil, fortune and misfortune. You see, the poet here is advising his son. In the first and second lines, the father is asking his son to be calm and stable and never be angry, even when people around him are getting angry. In the third and fourth lines, the son is asked to have self-confidence even when all people doubt him. Son should listen to other people's criticism. It may be true, but he can reform himself. In the fifth line, son is advised to be patient. In the sixth line, the father wants his son to be honest. He shouldn't be a liar, even people lie to him. In line 7, he wants his son to have a forgiving nature. He shouldn't hate those who hate him. In the last line, he advises his son to be humble, not to be very proud of himself. This is a paraphrasing of the whole stanza, and I dealt with the first stanza line by line. And here, the figures of speech, here we have a contrast. Keep your head, lose thirst, trust, doubt, lied about, don't deal in lies. This is the contrast that we have seen in the first stanza. General paraphrasing of the first stanza. If you are asked to give a paraphrase of the whole stanza, that you will see that, or you can use that part. In the first stanza, the poet asks his son to be brave and have a confidence in himself. He calls him to have the patience to listen to others' criticism, even if it is untrue. He advised him to follow an honest, loving, moderate way of life. Now we will see the second stanza. We will read it first. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. The vocabulary here: triumph means success, disaster, failure, imposters, false things forced upon you, knaves, wicked people, bear, tolerate. Stoop here means bending your body down, affected by failure. Worn out, torn, or suffering. Tools here means means, toss, action of throwing suddenly. In line 1 and 2, the father wants his son to be realistic and not to live in a dreamy world. He should act or work, apply his thoughts instead of dreaming. In line 3 and 4, the father says to his son that life imposes different circumstances of success and failure, which contradict one's wishes and hopes. So he advises his son to deal with failure as well as success. Success shouldn't turn his head, make him too happy, and failure shouldn't let him down. In line 5 and 6, the son is asked to bear the wicked people who might change his true words to deceive him. In line 7 and 8, Sun should never give in with when he fails. He should never be disappointed. He has to start again if he loses. Personification. Personification is one of the poetry pictures that we are asked to give or to deal with while you are analyzing or explaining any poem. Personification here, one of the personification you may see in the poem, make dreams your master, personifies the dreams as being a human who is master. All your winnings, risk it on one turn of pitch and toss. He personifies his winnings as being something which can be thrown away. Also, there is a repetition. The poet repeats the word if many times in each stanza. Then the answer, all the ifs comes in the last two lines. This complete the picture of the poem. Contrasts here in the second stanza, triumph, disaster, truth, impostors. General paraphrasing of the second stanza. In the second stanza, life imposes different circumstances of success and failure, which contradict one's demands and hopes. The poet advice to his son is always try again. That's the end of our session today. Inshallah, next session we will deal with stanza 3 and stanza 4, and we also will have general questions about the poem. Till we meet again, I wish you the best of luck. Don't forget to put like to that video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much and goodbye.